Welcome back to the channel JF Coin Treasure Hunters, coin lovers and collectors from all around the world. Today's journey takes us deep into the world of American numismatics, into the heart of a coin that millions of people once carried in their pockets without even thinking about it. A coin so common on the surface, yet hiding secrets, rarity, mystery, and incredible value that could reach as high as $442. Yes, we are talking about the legendary 1-cent 1975 Ultra Lincoln penny. A coin that may be resting right now in an old jar, forgotten purse, dusty drawer, or perhaps hidden in your own collection without you even realizing its true worth. So sit tight, because in this video we are going to explore the origin, the history, the minting process, the rare errors, the secret traits, and the skyrocketing market demand that turns an ordinary-looking 1975 penny into a powerful treasure piece worth real money. This story is going to take you from 1909 all the way to modern coin markets and auction surprises, and by the end of the video you will know exactly what to look for and what makes the 1975 Ultra Lincoln penny so incredibly valuable. Let us begin our journey. We start by traveling back to the year 1909. When the Lincoln cent was introduced to the American public for the very first time. It was designed to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. No American president had ever appeared on circulating U.S. coinage before, and this design created a huge cultural shift in the meaning of everyday money. People felt like they were carrying a part of American history in their pockets. Fast forward through more than 6 decades of minting, through world wars, economic changes, cultural revolutions, and shifting mint technologies, and we finally arrive at the year 1975. A year when millions of Lincoln cents were produced, yet only a small percentage were struck with remarkable precision, sharp details, beautiful luster, or rare minting errors that turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Most people look at a penny and see a simple copper coin. But a coin collector sees the mirror-like shine of the strike, the accuracy of the lettering, the crispness of Lincoln's portrait, the sharp edges of the wheat lines or the memorial pillars, and the tiniest imperfections that can make the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of dollars. That is why the 1975 Ultra Lincoln penny has become such a highly sought-after collectible. Now let us dive deeper into the reasons behind its rising market value. The first factor is condition. A 1975 penny in regular circulated condition might not seem special, but when found in perfect or near perfect state, with blazing luster and little to no contact marks, its value rises dramatically. Collectors call these ultra-grade coins. They look like they were minted yesterday. They display strong copper color, full details in Lincoln's hair, smooth fields, and crisp lettering that pops under the light. These ultra-high-grade pieces can sell for an incredible amount, and some listings and auctions have pushed prices all the way to $442 for the finest examples. The second factor is rarity and striking quality. While millions were made, only a tiny fraction came out of the presses with exceptional sharpness. These pieces show a perfection that appeals to grading professionals and serious collectors. Once a coin reaches the highest grading category, bidding competition becomes intense, pushing the value sky high. The third factor is errors. The 1975 Lincoln penny is known among collectors for a variety of fascinating minting mistakes. Some examples include double dies that create ghost-like shadows around the lettering or Lincoln's face, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, die cracks that appear like raised lightning lines on the surface, and clipped planchets that create unusual missing corners. Each of these errors can transform an ordinary penny into a valuable rarity. Now imagine someone finding a brilliant, near-flawless 1975 penny with an error on top of its beautiful strike quality. That is when values can explode. That is when collectors compete fiercely. That is when you see market value reaching and sometimes surpassing $442. And here is the most exciting part. These gems are still out there. They hide in old jars filled with pennies gathered over decades. They lie inside antique store boxes or thrift shop coin bags. They sit quietly in change drawers, unknown to the world. Many people walk past these tiny treasures every single day and never even realize what they had. But you, after watching this video, will know exactly what to look for. Check the year. Look for the shine. Examine the edges. Study the lettering. Rotate the coin under a bright light to reveal doubling or hidden luster. Inspect the portrait for sharpness. And if you find a flawless or near flawless example, you may be holding a coin that collectors are willing to pay hundreds of dollars for. What makes this story truly fascinating is how a 1-cent coin from 1975, a coin millions once used to buy candy or newspapers, has now become a symbol of hidden value. It teaches us that history sometimes hides in the smallest places. It teaches us that even the most ordinary things can turn extraordinary if you look closely enough. The 1975 Ultra Lincoln penny stands as a reminder that collecting coins is more than a hobby. It is a treasure hunt, a mystery, a window into the past, and a journey of discovery. And that is why the demand for this coin continues to grow, why collectors chase the highest grades, and why the market can push the price to levels no one expected, including the impressive $442 mark. So if you have a collection, bring out your old penny rolls. If you know someone who saved spare change through the years, ask them if you can take a look. If there is a dusty piggy bank in your home that has not been opened in ages, now is the perfect time to crack it open. The rare 1975 Ultra Lincoln penny might be waiting for you. Thank you for joining me on this journey into coin history, rarity, and hidden wealth. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more videos about valuable coins, rare discoveries, and the stories behind the money we use every day, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new treasure hunt. Until next time, stay curious, stay passionate, and keep searching. Your next life-changing coin may be just 1 penny away. If you want an even longer version, a shorter version, a more dramatic version, or scripts for other years and coins, just tell me and I'll create it. Today's video is going to take you deep into the world of rare pennies, mysterious mint varieties, and unbelievable coin discoveries hiding in everyday pocket change. If you thought a simple 1-cent coin could never be worth more than the copper it's made from, then prepare yourself, because the 1984 Ultra Lincoln penny is a coin that continues to shock collectors, surprise new hobbyists, and make headlines in the coin collecting world. Yes, you heard that right. A penny minted for 1 single cent, barely larger than the tip of your finger, can reach a market value of up to $442. And in some cases, even more depending on demand, rarity, and condition. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on a fascinating journey through the value, history, errors, and unbelievable stories behind this little American treasure. Our story starts in 1984. The United States Mint was producing billions of pennies every year. People were walking around with these coins in their pockets without ever imagining they could become valuable. The Lincoln cent had been in circulation since 1909, honoring the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. But what makes certain pennies from 1984 different from the rest? How can some of these ordinary-looking coins skyrocket to hundreds of dollars in today's collectibles market? To understand that, we have to first go back in time. In 1982, the United States Mint changed the composition of the penny. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper. But after mid-1982, they switched to a cheaper metal, a zinc core coated with copper. That change introduced a new series of unexpected minting issues, dye problems, and rare varieties. And this environment of fast production mixed with metal changes created a perfect condition for rare pennies to appear. Now fast forward to 1984. One of the most famous varieties from this year is known as the 1984 double-ear Lincoln penny. By simply looking closely at Lincoln's ear on the coin, collectors discovered a doubling effect that was completely unintentional. It wasn't supposed to happen, yet it slipped through the minting process and made its way into circulation. This tiny doubling caused a huge explosion of excitement in the collecting world. And as more people learned about this variety, the value skyrocketed. But that's not the only miracle from this year. There are also ultra-grade examples coins preserved in extremely high condition. A penny that survives for 40 years without scratches, without marks, without losing its sharp details becomes an investment piece. Ultra-grade 1984 pennies certified by grading companies can pull in hundreds of dollars. And this is where the $442 market value comes into play. That number reflects the current range collectors are paying for top quality, nearly perfect examples of the 1984 Lincoln cent. Imagine finding something like that in your old piggy bank. Imagine searching through your childhood coin jar and discovering a coin that turns out to be worth more than your electricity bill. It sounds unbelievable, but many collectors have already experienced exactly that. And it is these stories that fuel the magic of coin collecting. So, what should you look for if you have a 1984 penny in your home? The first thing is condition. Check if it has strong mint luster, meaning the coin still shines naturally. Look at the details of Lincoln's hair, the lettering, the date, and the steps of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The sharper the details, the higher the grade, and the more valuable the coin becomes. Then check Lincoln's ear area for any doubling or extra outline. If you see a doubled ear, you might be holding one of the most sought-after varieties from the early 80s, and that's only the beginning. Some 1984 cents also show other small errors like die cracks, die chips, rim breaks, plating bubbles, or off-center strikes. Even the slightest minting error can boost the value significantly depending on rarity and visual appeal. Every little detail matters when we talk about rare numismatic coins. Collectors love the 1984 Lincoln penny because it represents a perfect storm of modern minting history. It was produced in a period of transition, it carries unique varieties, and it is old enough to be considered collectible but still young enough for people to find it in regular circulation. This combination makes it a favorite in the community. As of the current market analysis, top-grade ultra specimens of the 1984 penny with exceptional clarity and minimal imperfections can reach prices around $442. Lower-grade examples or coins with minor errors can still bring in a nice amount of money depending on the buyer. And remember, rare coins only become more valuable as time passes because their survival rate decreases. Coins get damaged, lost, or melted down, which makes the remaining ones more precious each year. Now imagine your next visit to the store. You receive a handful of change, and instead of ignoring it, you decide to check it carefully. You spot an older penny. You check the date. It reads 1984. You take a closer look and suddenly notice something different. Maybe the ear doubling glows under the light. Maybe the coin has sharp untouched features. And just like that, you are holding a piece of American minting history. A coin worth hundreds of dollars. A treasure hiding in plain sight. This is why collectors call coins like these pocket miracles. This is why millions of people watch videos about rare pennies, dreaming of making their own discovery. And this is why the 1984 Ultra Lincoln penny continues to rise in fame and in value. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep your eyes open. You never know when a simple 1-cent coin could turn into a life-changing find. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1984 Lincoln penny, hit that like button, subscribe for more treasure hunting videos, and stay tuned because we have many more rare coin stories coming your way. Thank you for watching and happy collecting. If you want, I can also write SEO title description, hashtags, thumbnail text, or even a second version of the script. Just tell me. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern Lincoln cents in the world of coin collecting, a coin that looks so ordinary in your pocket yet hides an extraordinary story beneath its copper-plated surface. Yes, we are talking about the 1-cent coin from the year 1987, a coin that many collectors overlook, a coin that millions of Americans handled without knowing that some special pieces from this exact year can be worth up to $442 in today's collector market. You heard that right. A simple penny that cost just 1 cent to use, now becoming a small treasure in the hands of lucky collectors. And today I will take you through the full journey of this coin, its origin, its hidden varieties, the history behind the 1987 Lincoln penny, why collectors chase it, what makes certain specimens extremely rare, and how the market for this coin is exploding right in front of our eyes. So sit back, relax, and get ready because this story goes much deeper than the small coin you may have in your wallet right now. The history segment. The year is 1987. Ronald Reagan is the President of the United States. The Berlin Wall still divides Europe. Technology is rising, the American economy is transforming, and in the middle of this vibrant period, the United States Mint continues producing the iconic Lincoln cent. By 1987, the Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for more than 75 years, featuring the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design beloved by collectors around the world. But 1987 is not just another year of production. It marks a period when the Mint was deeply committed to copper-plated zinc coinage. Since 1982, the cent had shifted away from its heavy 95% copper composition to a lighter zinc core with copper plating. This change created new minting challenges, new striking issues, and new opportunities for rare and unexpected mint errors. And this is where the fascination with the 1987 Lincoln cent truly begins. The Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1987 pennies. To the untrained eye, these coins look like any other modern cents. But to coin collectors, to numismatists, to those who study the tiny mysteries of the minting world, the 1987 penny hides several special traits that can make certain pieces dramatically more valuable than ordinary pocket change. The rarity segment. The first question many people ask is simple. How can a penny from 1987, a coin that is everywhere, be worth hundreds of dollars? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and minting precision. Most 1987 pennies are worth face value. But the moment you find an ultra-grade, a perfect preservation level, a coin that still shines with its original mint luster and carries crisp details on every corner, the value skyrockets. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC give a numeric grade to coins. And when a 1987 penny reaches the highest possible grades such as MS67, MS68, and in extremely rare cases MS68+, the market value explodes. And here is where things get exciting. Some flawless 1987 pennies, especially those known among collectors as ultra specimens, have been sold for as much as $442. Just imagine holding a tiny copper-plated disc minted decades ago, and realizing it is worth hundreds. That is the magic of high-grade modern coins. The mint error segment. But the story gets even better. Some 1987 Lincoln cents contain minting mistakes. Now these are not flaws in the negative sense. These are treasures. Errors such as off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, doubled die obverse or reverse where the letters appear doubled, clipped planchets where a bite seems taken out of the coin, and even rare plating bubbles caused by the zinc core can bring collectors racing to auctions. A 1987 penny with dramatic error features can easily sell for large amounts. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable it becomes. And because mint errors from this era were often overlooked, finding one today in the back of a drawer or inside an old coffee could mean discovering a small fortune. The value and market segment. Now let us talk about the market. The collector market for high-grade modern cents has been booming. Investors, collectors, and hobbyists are increasingly searching for perfect examples of coins that seem common but are extremely difficult to find in pristine condition. And this is exactly what makes the 1987 Ultra Lincoln penny special. Collectors today are paying premium prices for high-grade specimens, and the number that keeps coming up for top-tier pieces is astonishing. Certain Ultra examples from 1987 have hit a remarkable market value of $442. This price surge is fueled by demand, rarity of top grades, and a growing interest in mint-state modern cents. People are beginning to understand that certain pennies are not inexpensive collectibles at all but instead miniature investments. So if you come across a 1987 penny in brilliant uncirculated condition, hold it carefully. You might be looking at a $100 coin. And if you find one with perfect surfaces, no scratches, no marks, sharp lettering, and blazing red luster, you might be holding the next $442 ultra specimen. The collector advice segment. Now, if you are wondering how you can find these valuable pieces yourself, here are some tips. Always check your loose change in coin jars. Search old penny rolls from banks and coin dealers. Use strong lighting and magnification to spot doubling, die cracks, and unusual patterns. And remember, the secret of the 1987 penny is not just rarity, but condition. So handle all coins by their edges and never touch the surfaces if you believe you found something special. The closing segment. And there you have it, the fascinating world of the 1987 Ultra Lincoln 1-cent penny. A story of history, rarity, and surprising value hidden inside a coin most people overlook. This little piece of American currency carries the spirit of its time and the beauty of its design, and for a lucky few collectors, it even carries a value far beyond what anyone would expect. $442 for a 1-cent coin. That is the power of numismatics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next exciting coin adventure. Thank you for watching, and remember, the treasure you seek might already be in your pocket. If you want an even longer version, a shorter version, a script with timestamps, or a more dramatic narrator style, just tell me and I'll create it. Today's story is one that every collector, every beginner, and every treasure hunter must hear. We are talking about the 1988 Ultra Lincoln penny. A tiny 1-cent coin that most people walk past every single day without even thinking twice. But what if I told you that one of these little copper-plated zinc pennies can reach a jaw-dropping current market value of up to $442 or even more depending on grade, condition, and rarity? Stay tuned because what I am about to reveal will completely change the way you look at your everyday spare change. Opening hook. Imagine this. You open a drawer that has been untouched for years. You slide your hand into a dusty corner, and out comes a handful of forgotten coins. You don't expect much. Just ordinary pennies. But then you see it. A 1988 penny with a tiny D mark under the date. A coin worth only 1 cent when it left the Denver Mint. But now you discover that the very coin in your hand could be worth hundreds. Maybe even the cost of a brand new smartphone. Maybe more. This is not a fantasy. This is the real world of rare American cents, and the 1988 Lincoln penny has a story that deserves to be told. History of the 1988 penny. To truly understand the importance of this coin, we need to travel back to the year 1988. The United States Mint in Denver was producing billions of Lincoln pennies. The country had transitioned from solid copper cents to copper-plated zinc coins only a few years before. It was a time of technological adjustment, new dies, new minting processes, and sometimes mistakes slipped through. Some of these mistakes created coins that today are incredibly valuable. The 1988 penny belongs to the iconic Lincoln Memorial Series, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Even though billions of these pennies were minted, only a handful stand out. Only a select few from 1988 have what collectors call ultra status. These are the coins that show extraordinary strike clarity, perfect detail, deep contrast between the fields and devices, and almost flawless surfaces. They are the elite among billions. True survivors in a harsh circulation environment. Why some 1988 pennies became extremely valuable. The value of this penny is not random. Several factors merge to create an ultra-valuable coin. First is condition. A 1988 penny in poor condition might still only be worth a cent. But an ultra-high-grade example, the kind that looks like it came straight from the mint yesterday, can easily hit the hundreds. Collectors love perfection, and perfection in a zinc penny that's over 30 years old is extremely rare. Second is minting quality. A tiny group of 1988 pennies were struck using exceptionally fresh dies that produced mirror-clear surfaces and bold details. These are the coins that grading companies label MS68 or higher. These are the coins that head straight into auctions and shock bidders with unbelievable prices. Third is survival rate. Zinc cents deteriorate faster than older copper coins. Many are corroded, scratched, or beaten by circulation. Finding one in pristine condition is like finding a gemstone in a river of pebbles. The discovery and auction story collectors began noticing in recent years that a few 1988 pennies were appearing with extraordinary mint state grades. When one coin reached auction with an ultra-high grade, it created shock across the coin community. A simple 1-cent piece, the cheapest denomination in American currency, jumped to a selling price of $442. And that number is only the beginning. As collectors continue searching for higher grade examples and as demand continues to rise, prices may climb even further. Imagine someone picking up a penny in the parking lot, thinking it's worth nothing, only to find out it's one of the cleanest, sharpest, and most beautifully struck pennies of 1988. Imagine sending it to a grading service and receiving an MS-68 or MS-69 designation. That single grade instantly transforms the coin into a small fortune. A 1-cent miracle. How to identify a potentially valuable 1988 penny? Let's walk through what you should look for. Start with the date. It must say 1988 with a mint mark below the year. Next, examine the surface. The coin must appear nearly flawless with no visible scratches, dents, or discoloration. Check the shine. High-grade 1988 pennies have an almost glowing appearance with crisp details on Lincoln's portrait and the memorial building. Focus on the strike. Look at Lincoln's hair, the lettering, the rim, and the memorial columns on the reverse. Ultra examples show razor-sharp lines that look almost sculpted. If your coin seems exceptionally perfect, you may have something extremely special. Why collectors love this coin? Collectors adore the 1988 penny for its beauty, rarity, and the thrill of the chase. It is a modern coin that behaves like a classic treasure. It reminds coin lovers that even in a world of billions of mass-produced pieces, one perfect example can rise above all others and capture the spotlight. It proves that treasure can still be found in everyday life. Current market value as of today, the highest recorded market value for the 1988 Ultra Lincoln penny reaches around $442 for premium-graded examples. But keep in mind that the market for rare coins is always evolving. Prices rise when demand increases. And as the number of collectors grows worldwide, the hunt for these high-grade modern rarities becomes more intense every year. Closing inspiration. So before you toss that penny aside or ignore that old jar of change sitting on the shelf, remember this incredible story. The 1988 Lincoln penny proves that even something small, something ordinary, something almost invisible can be hiding a secret value beyond what anyone expects. Check your pockets. Check your drawers. Check your old piggy banks. Because the next $442 Ultra Lincoln penny might be sitting right in your hand. Ending. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable modern cents, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a discovery. Share your finds in the comments below, and tell us if you have a 1988 penny waiting to be examined. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next treasure hunt. If you want it even longer or want a second version with more drama, storytelling, or details about grades, errors, or minting varieties, just tell me and I will expand it.